from the introduction, you may think that I'm a boring research professor. I will say, Duncan is saying yes. I never wanted to be a professor. I always wanted to be a hotel GM and then own my own hotel company, but has not happened. So I end up in academia. First of all, I want to thank everyone, especially Erin and Rich, for allowing me to share my knowledge. And then I want to express my gratitude to all the members of the health industry, how they have been working really hard for the last several months. Jim presented a wonderful webinar last week on leadership, resilience leadership. Mine will be more complementary, talk about how we can help our employees and managers during these difficult times. So this is the purpose. Upfront, I want to make some acknowledgements. This is not a research presentation. I will not present formulas or statistics or numbers. It will be more a discussion. I don't have a magic formula to build resilience immediately, a cure for COVID. I've used materials from different sources. I can share some of my sources if needed. Please find a pen and paper. As a professor, I always give a homework. At the end, there will be a homework or discussions, or you may take notes. But I hope at the end we can have a conversation. I like to hear your best practices as well, okay? So in case you want to know how we are heading, the outline of the webinar, you can have a look at it. In case you need to make a phone call or come back, this is the outline. I will not read line by line. We have a theory called butterfly effect. The idea is a butterfly in Brazil flies, and then it can create a hurricane in Orlando in Florida. And then we call this the complexity chaos theory. And when I try to explain this in classrooms, one student said, "Professor, no offense, but what a dumb story, a dumb theory. How is this possible?" And I gave different examples, but they were not very impressed. Unfortunately, the COVID pandemic is a good example of how a little thing, a butterfly, a virus, something coming from another country and affecting the whole industry, the hospitality and tourism, not just the hospitality and tourism, but many, many industries. I don't think we have ever faced, especially in my lifetime, I have not faced anything like this. And I don't know, when I read, there isn't another example of affecting the whole economy of many countries and many industries. So this is really difficult for all of us to digest. If 6 months ago, a year ago, if someone told us a story, we would say, "This is not possible, you're dreaming too much. What are you drinking?" They would have said. So let's have a test here. You can raise your hand or use your, I think, hands, or you don't need to do anything. Raise your hand or say yes if you have experienced a hurricane, a tsunami, an earthquake, a pandemic before. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. I see many hands. Face a major health challenge, personal or in family. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Even the dog is saying yes. Okay. Lost a family member, a close friend. Yes. And lost your job or almost you were losing, scary. You were discriminated, failed in a project, faced financial challenges. So most of us, I think 90% of us have faced one or two or more challenges in our life. So such difficult times is not new for us, but this is really, really major. And then when I look at social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we always see these happy photos, but in reality, behind the scene, many of us have faced challenges, difficulties. And then it's stress, yes, stress meter. We often think stress is bad, which is true, but some stress is good for us. So it makes us more productive, creative, but when you go over a certain level, then it's problem. You cannot think properly, you cannot make decisions, it's not good for your brain, your health. So you have anxiety, you are worried, you are scared, you are stressed. The funny thing is, according to the New York Times article, one of these, Americans are among the most stressed people in the world, okay? Is it surprising? Not perhaps, because there are many demands, job-related issues, mortgage issues, debt issues, and high expectations. And this is really concerning. This is before the COVID pandemic. And if you look at this slide, during the time of COVID, we are worried about more a family member getting coronavirus and how the government will respond. And then disrupted routines, really change everything. And personally getting the virus, coronavirus, and then basic needs getting, and self-isolation, access to healthcare. These are our concerns, have been our concerns based on a research project by the American Psychological Association. Would you agree with these? I think personally, I have had most of these concerns, still do. But this slide is interesting. If you really look at it carefully, our brains, when we are stressed, and then when we are not stressed. The right-hand side, when we are stressed, you can see the front side of our brain, how scary it is. It's just red. And then it's the brain dysfunctions. You cannot make good decisions. You have anxiety. It's just your concern, basically. This is a better slide. When you're unstressed, you're okay. You know, you can make good decisions, informed decisions. You're calm. And then when you're stressed, you cannot control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. So this is a concern. Right now, we are all, in a way, because of the COVID-19, we are stressed. But what is resilience? That is the key here. Yes, stress is bad, and we have been under stress. So we define resilience as developing a coping mechanism that can enable us to reduce and manage stress. So reducing and managing stress, and also mitigating the effects of challenges that we are facing, all of us, and family members and colleagues. And also ability to bounce back and turning challenges into opportunities. Resilience is not staying at home and being the same, no improvement. Resilience is just fighting back, reducing and managing stress, and turning challenges into opportunities. Someone asked me, like, why do we need to be resilient? And then I said, that's a good question. What is your option? You accept the situation, or you fight back? Or you will say that I have to be strong for myself. I have to be strong for my kids, for my family members, for my colleagues. So this is for all of us, and also for the society. One of us can make a difference in another person's life positively, and there is a positive effect on all of us. So, and Winston Churchill said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. Basically, why we need to be strong, resilient, we need to keep going and going to survive. I think last week, Jim mentioned that keep going, stay the course repeatedly in his leadership resilient webinar. Basically, in our lives, when I talk to my students, the way they want their life plan, career is straight, always success, progression and progression. And then, but in reality, the bottom is you have a bike and then you lose it, you face rocks, you have to climb, you have to swim, you have to create a boat, you climb, and it will rain, it will be sunny. So it's a lot of challenges. It just, life is full of challenges. It's for us to be resilient and then keep working, keep going. So we have an interesting slide here, and it is our choice. And I want to ask, this is one of your homework questions. Who do I choose to be during COVID, right? We have 3 phases, 3 stages. Please write down which stage are you in. And fear zone 1 is panic buy. What did we do, most of us? We went to supermarkets yes, market, bought toilet papers, we looked for masks, and then we were angry, fear, you know. If you ask me what I bought, coming from Turkey, I like olives and feta cheese for breakfast. So the first thing I bought olives and olive oil and feta cheese. That was the thing. We were angry, we didn't know, we were confused, blamed others, started reading and started communicating. And then if you look at Facebook or social media, most of us shared even remedies. If you do this, that will protect you, do this, do that, and so forth. This was, let's say this is zone 1, fear zone. You can raise your hand if you are still there in zone 1. Okay? Zone 2 is learning zone. Accept the situation, you say this is not going away. Perhaps initially we said, oh, it will not come to the US, it will not come to Orlando, and it is here, has been here. So learning zone is, we say, accept the situation, and then you look at your emotions, you say, take a day, you know, every day I will try my best and look for opportunities. What can I do? Start eating healthy, because most of us, I'm not generalizing, we have gained some pounds staying at home. I see a lot of photos on social media. I'm cooking, experimenting this, I'm trying this. So then we say, okay, I need to start exercising, and then start eating healthy and start thinking sensibly what we can do. This is zone 2, learning zone. And the next one is basically the growth zone, the most important one. Positive, but still sensible. We think positively, but we say we have to be cautious as well. And we start appreciating others, family members, colleagues, and everyone, and then adapt to new challenges, and then focus on present and future. And then we should say, start like, how can I build new skills, new knowledge, and then how we can build teams, and then also networking and helping others. So we have 3 zones here, zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. I give you a couple of seconds and think about yourself. You may not be a zone 1 or 2 or 3 all the time, but decide which zone are you mostly when you look at yourself 3 months ago, and then 2 months ago, and today, and or next week, next month, which zone you should be in. Okay. We will have a discussion later, but please write down. What is interesting is, especially with our students and alumni, we see a lot of unhappiness and frustration. And so at one point, we need to stop this negative emotions and behavior and stop the domino effect, basically. Otherwise, it will have implications in every area. So in psychology, there is a theory called emotional contagion theory. I don't know how many of you have heard this. This is really interesting. It says in an area, in a group, in a family, if one person starts thinking positively, it gradually has positive effects on other members of the team. If members of that group, family, they start thinking negatively, and then the whole team starts being negative and cannot move forward. So the message is, we have to have positive emotional contagion to help each other. If you start this positive emotional contagion, you can help your family members, you can help your team members, and it will be a positive butterfly effect. So based on research studies, ladies and gentlemen, they identified 8 areas of resilience. I will go over one by one. You can certainly add new areas or sub areas here, but the first one is the purpose. According to research, those people with a specific purpose, clear purpose in life, even if they face challenges, they keep going and they are successful, they survive, and they build resilience. And then physical, mental, financial adaptability, growth, and networking, and social. So let's go over one by one. So the purpose, let's think about what is your purpose in life. 20, 30 years ago, I wanted to be a a professor of strategic management. And now I want to make a positive impact in my students' lives. That's my purpose. And then help my daughters to move forward. So I have specific goals to reach these purpose, and then value. What are your values? They shape your decisions. Honesty, hard work. Okay? You can add more values here. So we all need to think about our purpose and stick with our purpose during these difficult times. Physical resilience, exercising. There are research studies. When you start exercising, after half an hour, your brain starts being happier, less stressed. It dramatically helps. And then healthy eating, it's key. I don't need to talk about it. We all know. And in the United States, we have an issue with overweight and obesity. And then when your body cannot function, it doesn't help your brain. And good sleep, this is interesting. According to research, 1/3 of Americans cannot sleep at night. They are stressed, so there is a sleep problem. So we need to work on our sleep as well. And then also during these difficult times, yes, we may be social drinkers, but we must be away from heavy use of alcohol and no drugs at all. So this is key for us. So physical resilience is key for us to start building resilience. Mental, being happy, being positive emotions, mental attitude, and managing stress. So these are the keys, and you can add other things. If you are religious, you can include here, yoga, clearing your mind. These are key things for all of us, but mentally we need to have resilience. This is really important, being positive and having positive emotions and mental attitude. This is an interesting finding just recently, 2019, prior to COVID, financial situations of individuals, employees in the United States. There are also some other scary statistics too. 49% of employees had difficulty in meeting household expenses on time every month. This is concerning. 45% of employees had less than 1,000 saved for unexpected expenses. This is before the COVID. 59% of employees consistently carried balances on their credit cards. And again, 37% of employees had difficulty in making their minimum credit card payment. So this already was an issue, is still an issue financially. And then during the pandemic, COVID, I think the key for us is just have better budgeting skills for our employees and for ourselves. And then think about spending needs and wants. I try to explain this to my students and even my daughters. They don't understand. Some of them say, oh, no worries, I want to enjoy my life. But for rainy days, we need to think about saving. So the advice will be for financial resilience. I think we need to offer financial wellness education to our family members, even at school, starting from middle school, high school, universities, and also at workplaces. As far as we can see, many employees need education and training here. So adaptability is next. Yes, we need to adapt, we need to manage change, but also making decisive decisions during challenging times when we are stressed, when we face difficulties. It's difficult for us to make decisive decisions. And then it's also easy perhaps for some of us to give up and say, I can't do it. So in terms of resilience here, we need to adapt, we need to manage change, make decisive decisions and keep going. As Jim last week said, stay the course, keep moving. Growth, 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 okay? Education during challenging times. First of all, we encourage all our students to continue and our hospitality employees. One thing I want to mention here, UCF Rosen College, now we offer fully online degrees, event management, hospitality management, food service, restaurant management, as well as entertainment management. And we have certificates as well, fully online. So this is, they're all welcome to enroll, great degrees. And another area is whatever skills you have, you need to sharpen, improve, because after the COVID, they will ask, what have you done since you have been away, or since 6 months, for the last 6 months? So I've learned this, I have improved this, and then having new skills, getting certificates. And there are many stories during the crisis, during pandemics, difficult times, people change their careers. And it's maybe time for some of us to think, why, how can I start a new career? It also allows us to have multiple jobs during this time. So the message here, perhaps a new business venture some of us can consider. Networking. The key here is the advice, keep calm, update your CV for employees, especially looking for jobs, and then LinkedIn profile updating. Surprisingly, I receive about 5 to 10 new friends through LinkedIn. They connect with me. But when I look at their profiles, my God, I cannot understand anything. So they need help updating their CVs, also their LinkedIn profiles. I'm sure there are some other, thank you, Duncan. There are other similar websites. If you have a profile, even your social media, it's your brand image. It's important for everyone to have a proper professional profile. And sending thank you notes. I get emails, phone calls from my students. Professor, I took your course 10 years ago. You were my professor. Now I need a reference letter. And I say, yeah, I'm happy to write a reference letter, but where were you? So the advice is, don't approach people when you need them. Keep approaching them every 6 months, every year. Keep the relationship. And if you have mentors, be in touch with them and work with them and ask for advice. And now we have social distancing, but through social media, you can still meet new people, new friends, and connect with people. That is the key. So a couple of more things. Social support. When I ask my students during this summer term, how did you cope with this difficult times with the COVID pandemic? Most of them said, my support network, their support network, families, friends, okay, close friends, work colleagues, they help them. So it's important for all of us to build a support network. Personally, I get emails, phone calls checking on me. I make phone calls, send emails to check on people, help people. My close friends, they are staying at home, students at home. So we need to build a strong support network. And it's very common, they say, ask for help. This is important. There are many proverbs about it. And also how you ask. You shouldn't be shy for asking for help, but also ask professionally and acknowledge you need help. And it's all about having good mentors, a good support system around you. And according to research studies, during difficult times, crisis, people focus more on Maslow's hierarchy, basic needs, shelter, food. But according to research studies, when people focus on higher needs of Maslow's hierarchy, these activities give them more support and satisfaction, and they recover faster. What we mean is give back, donate, volunteer, charity help, share. These will greatly help. And also, these are great ways to network, meet new people, okay, and so forth. So basically what we have here is building resilience. We have 8 areas. They're all important. And then we start with physical, mental, financial, adaptability, growth, network, and social support. They're all important. If we start from one area, we will continue getting better and stronger. And then I always hear from my students, even my daughter's colleagues, I can't do it. I say, why not? Have you tried? And they say, oh, it's so easy for you to talk, easy to say, but they can't. But if we never try, basically, if we don't try, we will never know. It's time to try. There were things in my life I said I would never be able to achieve. Keep working and working. Yes, I failed many times, but gradually you reach your goals, or you have new goals. It's all about getting stronger and better. And where do we start with our resilience journey? It's all about starting with SMART goals: specific, measurable, acceptable, realistic, and time-bound. Very small steps. Basically, we can start, let's say, some small steps. All right, I will give you some small steps, and then when we finish, you can give me your small steps, how we can move forward. So write down 3 things for which you are grateful. Okay? When we face challenges, we often think the worst. That's normal. And then also, what I do, I say what I'm grateful. I'm grateful, I'm healthy. I have 2 wonderful daughters. I have a great career, and I have progressed well, but I'm helping future generations of the hospitality and tourism industry. So think about your purpose in life and stick with it. Yes, your purpose may change gradually along the way, but still it's okay to revise and stick with your purpose. And start exercising. Even a 15-minute walk can help your brain, your stress level, and clear your thoughts. Personally, before I make an important decision, I go for a walk and then make the decision, and then exercise again, help and think carefully, and talk to my mentors as well. Start practicing 2 healthy eating habits. And then you can say, what are they? I'm not an expert in this area, but a smaller portions, not drinking sodas perhaps too much, okay, or drinking less. So you find a way practicing healthy eating habits, and then register a training education program. Even if you have everything, just learning new things, or start reading a new book, that will help. So update your LinkedIn profile and send a thank you note to someone. Connect with at least 2 new individuals in your field who may help you, or who may know other people that they can connect you with others. Find a volunteering opportunity, and your support group, just who they are, and then how much you appreciate them, and how much you can help them, and how much you can help them. So in closing, good timing. Yes, Erin? Okay. Before I finish, I want to emphasize a couple of things. Think about your challenges in life, what you went through. I can give you a long list things, but perhaps another time. All of us have challenges, but when you think about how you overcame your challenges in life, you feel happy, and you have stories to tell your grandkids, your children, your relatives, your friends. I faced this challenge, but I bounced back, turned into an opportunity. Okay? And then also think about your role models in life, how they would react to such challenges. And find a partner in crime, basically. Work together, share your resilience plans, and then work together and say, I will be doing this, help me and check on me. Okay? And we learn more from our struggles than our failures than our successes. Sometimes challenges teach us many things. And then finally, before we finish, think about our purpose, what competencies, skills, networks we have, develop SMART goals. And it's all about starting with small behavioral steps. One personal thing, I was walking 2 miles every day, but for the last 3 months, I'm walking 5 miles every day. And then this morning, I checked my weight. I couldn't believe the best ever for the last 10 years. So I feel so good today, because small steps, first 2 miles, then 3 miles, then 5 miles, and then checking what I eat. And then I say the same thing to students: start with small steps gradually, and then work on your network. And basically, resilience is built over time. It will not happen tomorrow or next week or next month. Be patient, keep going. And then we need to start a positive emotional contagion all around us, help our family members, close friends, colleagues. And then this is the only way to go through during these difficult times. Before I finish, I would like to say we at Rosen College, within UCF, we have online degrees, hospitality management, event management, entertainment management, restaurant management. And also graduate level, we have a master's and PhD and certificates. And UCF also offers free continuing education workshops, programs. So what I want to say, how can UCF Rosen College help? This is a key question. We are here to help. If you personally want me to deliver similar design, develop, and deliver similar webinars, workshops, I volunteer without expecting anything in return during these difficult times. So we have to stick together and work together during these difficult times. So as a professor, once a professor, they say it's always a professor. We always like to give homeworks. So we have 5 questions for discussion and questions and answers. So what are the 3 things for which you are grateful? You can share. Which zone stage are you in now? Fear, learning, or growth? And why? And how you can move forward? And then list 3 small behavioral changes you will start practicing immediately, today, tomorrow. List 3 action items to help support others, like volunteering, sharing. And what are your own best practices in building resilience, either personally or at your business? So these are my questions. And I stop here and I will answer all the questions or like to hear feedback from our attendees. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Fevzi. Do you want to go into some of the questions and having the discussion by unsharing your screen so we can see everybody, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, Judy Holcomb, my good friend. Okay, great content. Please come back. Kevin, thank you. Some other questions? I don't see any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Fevzi or comments or anything to share relating to your experiences with your resilience or team members over this period?
Hey, Fevzi, this is Jim. I'll answer number 5 for you. For me, I've been, you know, it's been a few years now, like just reading and studying Stoic philosophy. And there is a great book that I've read called The Obstacle is the Way. It's by Ryan Holiday, and it's basically about Marcus Aurelius, who was the Roman emperor back in around 200 AD. And some of the Stoics had great discipline and philosophy around resiliency. So if anyone's interested in reading something that you might find helpful, as well as getting, studying an area where there's a lot of practical advice from Stoics about how to be more resilient. In fact, that's what the whole philosophy is about, really.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Yes.
Yep, my pleasure.
More questions, comments?
Maureen?
Good morning. I wanted to answer the second question because I think I'm somewhere between 2 and 3 in terms of, I don't have all of 3 for sure. But I did want to ask, in your growth, what are some, we do team building, but obviously in this situation, it's kind of difficult. Do you have any ideas or anything, practices that have been working for team building in our current situation?
I assume your team members cannot meet in person right now, or can they meet in person?
Yeah, we're allowed to, but would that be an essential move? Maybe not.
Okay. Do you have a team leader, or is it you, the team leader?
I am the team
leader. Okay, good.
Are you the head of the circus?
All right, good. Are you giving each team member a specific task and then coming back and asking them to share?
No, actually, that's why I was asking for some ideas to do some team building.
you can have first work-related teamwork activities and also some fun-related teamwork activities. So bringing the pieces together, each team member will do one part and then they bring the pieces together, either work-related or fun. And then also allow each team member not to criticize, but offer feedback and work together with each other, okay? That will be, I think, my idea. And also, if you cannot meet, you can have Zoom meetings and then to talk about some positive stuff and then progress and so forth, okay? But I will check what you can do during these difficult times as teams, team activities, and come back to you, right? These are the initial thoughts I have in my mind. Having each team member can have specific tasks, and also the whole team has a task to achieve together, and then reporting back. That will be the best option, I think. Okay, right. Thank you. All right, I see a comment from Daniela. I think she's my student as well, former. Okay. Okay, she's happy with the content. She will share her this with her team member. She says, "Thank you, Daniela. It's nice seeing you." Okay, good. Yes, virtual happy hour, good practices. Okay, happy hour, yes. Good, virtual happy hours. But I hear sometimes happy hours, they keep drinking far too much. So that's also at one point it should not too many drinks, okay?
Anybody else have questions or anything to share?
I had one more question about your slide that had the the pictures of the brains on stress and without stress. Do you have any of the data of what the return looks like when you start to manage that kind of stress?
I think when you start exercising and then it goes back to normal, your brain goes back to normal. I'm sure there are, if you Google, you will see different phases of the brain, the images. But when you are stressed, that front side is really red, and then you cannot make good decisions, you are stressed. And then when you start exercising, when you calm down, your brain gets back to normal, and then that's the ideal stage. But I will again check those images and send you, okay, or the links. Brain is a difficult thing to understand. We are all trying to understand our brains. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Well, again, I just want to thank Fevzi for his time this morning. I hope that everybody did find this beneficial. As discussed, this will be available on the CFHLA YouTube page, should you wish to share. Fevzi, additionally, if you have the presentation, if you want to send me a copy, and if anyone is interested in the slides, I can then forward them out. So just send me an email and I'll make sure to share that. And
a last comment, if anyone, our industry members, if they need our help, we are here to help. I'm happy to deliver the same or similar webinar to their team members, employees. So we are here to help. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you all. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday afternoon and a good weekend. And remember to wear your face masks here on out, wherever you go.
All right. Thanks.